community manager is a relatively new term in organizations today. But if you are at all active in the social media community, then I'm sure you've heard this title before. But the question is, what does a community manager do? I'm here today with Megan Peters, who is the community manager of Mashable. Megan, tell us, what is a typical day for you as a community manager?
I'd say, really no day is ever the same. It's really totally different depending on kind of what happens. Especially because, a lot of what we do are communicating directly with our audience. So, one day that could be really awesome and we're getting tons of praise, and the next day it could be, there's an issue with something, or we're like trying to report a bug to our dev team, or people are unhappy with something that we wrote. So it really, there's tons of different things, and it's just not predictable because you never know what people are going to say or how they're going to react to something that you put out there.
Take me through a basic day. What time do you wake up in the morning?
I guess I wake up at about 6:30, but I like to get my workout in, have my Meg time before I get to work. It really kind of like relaxes me, gets me ready for the day. But yeah, for me, my team is doing a lot. Like we're really we're on so many different social sites at Mashable, given that's what we write about, and really our specialty. We want to make sure we're practicing what we preach. So. Our team's upholding like lots of Twitter and Facebook presences, plus Google Plus, Pinterest, Meetup, tons of different sites.
So you check all your platforms.
Yeah, so we check all the platforms, see what people are saying, put our newest stories up, try to get people to engage with it, and just start conversations around the top news of the day.
So aside from conversations you're having with customers and that sort of readers, what kind of conversations are you having internally? Who are you reporting that information to?
Yeah, so my job has become a lot more really making sure community is well represented across departments of the organization. So yeah, I'd say I check in very regularly with the sales team, the marketing team, our development team, even our HR team. We're getting ramped up on social as well. So, we're really making sure that people understand who our community is, educating them on not only how they can use social themselves, but also, who are these people that we're interacting with on these social sites every day, who's, reading our site and commenting on it. All these things are very important. And a lot of what we do, because we're so closely tied to our editorial team as well, is really inform content strategy in terms of, what do our readers want to see? Like, what's the type of content that gets them going? And how can we do more of that?
And so I realize some organizations may have budget, may not have budget when it comes to hiring someone or a team. Mm-hmm. Now, earlier you had told me that you work with a team of community managers at Mashable. How many people are on your team?
So I have 3 employees and 2 interns on my team right now, and hoping to expand that even more this year.
Well, when you first started, was there a certain point where you realized, gosh, I need help, I need to bring on another person? What does that look like?
Yeah, so there was a little while where it was just me, and it was just, it's just a lot to maintain, especially on Mashable. We have 25 million monthly readers, plus over 9 million social media followers at this point. So it's just, it's a lot for one person to do. And obviously, we can't connect with every single community member, but we really want to do as much as we can. So, there was definitely a point where, I was just like feeling like I was up at all hours of the night, like trying to check Twitter and see what people were saying. And it just wasn't scalable with one person. So it was pretty easy to justify that we needed to build out a team.
And so you have a team of 3?
Yeah.
Is that right? So you have a team of 3. Now, the day that you just described to me, is that the same thing that your other team members are doing?
No, now it's a lot more streamlined, and we work very well as a team. We're very collaborative. So, we're always helping each other out. If there's one need in a certain area, we can shift pretty quickly. We really, are good at thinking on our feet and making sure we put resources where they need them.
So what would you advise a recent graduate if they wanted to get a position as a community manager?
Yeah, so for Recent grads, I mean, I'd say definitely, understand audiences, where people are engaging, the platforms. I'd say the number one rule of community management is knowing your audience, but the number two rule is knowing your platform. So, people are going to be on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, all these different sites. But if you're not a part of that community and you don't understand the ecosystem that's happening there, you're not going to be able to communicate well with that audience. So I'd say really understanding those things are key. And from there, you can develop a strategy of, how you want to engage and what makes sense for your brand or your product on that different site.
So if you could give me three characteristics or qualities that someone would need to be in this position, and I only want 3 words, what would those be?
3 words. Yeah, well, I think I said earlier the main one is probably not having a big ego is really important because, you will definitely get shut down by some people, but at the same time, you also get a lot of praise from your audience too. You'd be surprised to see how much your community comes together, and I think that that's really amazing, and the more you can kind of take yourself out of that, the more organically it happens.
So check your ego at the door.
Yeah.
Number 2 would be?
Number 2, I'd say would be definitely, a great communicator. You really have to, like I said, understand where you're communicating and how people are going to react to what you're saying.
Wonderful. And 3 would be?
3 would probably be, just like overall good attitude and collaborative.
How about a good listener?
Yeah, a good listener is definitely key. And yeah, that falls a lot into like being a good communicator, of course. But yeah, also making sure you can like work well with people is super important too.
Well, you heard it from Megan. If you are interested in being a community manager, check your ego at the door, be a good communicator, listen, and have a general good attitude. Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.